morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. He is Anthony Stabile. I am Andy Serling. And it is a Friday, January 28th. 28th.
Tomorrow's the 29th.
Tomorrow is the 29th. Very good. 28, 29.
And you know what Sunday
You
is?
are on top of your game.
30th.
It's pretty sharp. And next week it'll be February. It's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
February's Tuesday. It's bananas.
Okay. We got stuff to talk about. We got 9 races today. I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course. I always look forward to it.
Okay. I would tell you to give out some of your Pegasus, but you wrote a blog about the Pegasus, about Gulfstream Day?
No, it will be the race of the week. That blog will be up. There's actually going to be a tip sheet.
For
a full card. Did the whole
Wow.
Time. Yep.
Well, better you.
Tapeta and all.
Better you than me. Well, actually, they only have 2 Tapeta races tomorrow,
Yes.
to be fair to them.
Yep.
They have about 40 every other day. And one of them's a good race. It's actually a good
That handicap,
race.
yep.
Yeah, it looked like a good race. The other one I didn't pay attention
Town
to. I didn't really look
Classic
that much, to be
stretching out,
honest.
yeah.
I'll probably look tomorrow.
It's actually I mean,
Well, it should be.
assuming this storm hits.
Let me guess, you like Speaker's Corner in the Hoover.
Unbelievable,
Smoked him
right?
out.
You know,
He looks like he's going to be a big price in there.
Assuming the storm
It's kinda
hits,
hidden.
our eyes will be down there, I would assume, and at Oaklawn. So we got the tip sheet out.
I like Space Traveler in the Pegasus Turf.
I think he has a chance.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of horses have a chance. And that race is wide open.
I think I picked him third.
Yeah, I think it's wide open. I'm not a Curlium fan in that race. I'm a Curlium fan. I'm not betting that horse off a long laugh. He's going to beat me. I think the other Pletcher is much more dangerous.
I picked Never Surprise.
Yeah, he's a dangerous horse. Anyway, you can play all that at Naira Bets. Use either promo code. You can use the promo code bonus 200, or you could use the Keep Anthony Employed 200. It's a special one. Anthony.
201,
What is it? You sending a 201? 199?
You get an extra buck. You get an extra buck.
An extra buck to get the cameo from you. Deposit. We will match it with $200 of your deposit. We're kidding. Use bonus 200. I think your computer throws up if you put in Keep Anthony Employed 200, and you'll become a member of Naira Bets. We have a $75 each on Aqueduct and Oaklawn, and you'll win $20. You'll get $20 each. I'll be on
Win or lose.
4 through 7 in Oaklawn. I'm enjoying the Oaklawn action.
Please don't.
Some days are strong, like all racetracks,
course.
but I'm actually finding, some days the race, and that the Southwest tomorrow was an interesting race. We hope to be able to cover that on America's Day at the Races.
Please don't forget to opt into all of these promotions.
Very good. And of course, 2:30 to 5:30 today on FS2. Greg, Maggie, and I, and Gary is at Oaklawn. There you have it. All right, race number 1. So this is a funny race because this race has had a number of different additions over the canceled days. And Exalted Charm, who looked like much the horse to beat, though you still picked him on top.
I did.
But Rock Sugar had not entered this race when they drew it last time. I'm actually going to go back to the last good finish of Rock Sugar behind the talented Risk Taking, who came out of this race to win the Withers, which will be run next weekend. Obviously, his career didn't pan out that well, but it came out better than Rock Sugar's, I'll tell you that. And I get it, but listen, he's not as forward as Exalted Charm, and Exalted Charm is the speed. So perhaps we'll have a bias. I was confused by yesterday. I think the rail was good yesterday, but there were races yesterday that certainly didn't make the rail seem like a big edge. Mott has very good numbers on these maiden special and maiden claiming dirt starts. For what it's worth, at Aqueduct, he's 4 for 12 with 9 hitting the board. And conversely, we'll go up and show you the stat for his chief rival, Exalted Charm. Kelly Breenbarn's numbers with the percentage is pretty good, though he's just 2 for 16 in New York with a much lower ROI. Or no, actually a similar ROI. And I don't know. You've taken him. You just think he's going to wire the field?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping this horse getting back to a fast track and just having the speed, having Jose Gomez be aggressive and just put the horse on the front end.
Why the
And
fast
quite
track,
frankly,
though, matter?
I think his best races. His best
He has
races
one
come
figure
on.
that's good on a fast track, and every other one is.
Well, he's only gotten a run on a fast track 3 times.
And
One
once
of
he
them
ran a
was his
42,
debut.
once he ran a 74, once he ran a 62. He ran 65, 62. I mean, I don't know.
I think he's better on a fast track.
I don't believe there's any evidence of that.
I think Jose Gomez will just put him on the front end today. And you know what?
Yeah, he should be.
Rock Sugar, man, he's had an awful lot of chances, Andy.
Yeah, I don't disagree, and you know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. Two back, at least get second, and he was awful. But those are significantly better horses. I mean, he's running in horses. I mean, Waxman starting like a stakes horse, Core Conviction. I know he had the issue last time, but on these biased tracks, you can't make too much of horses against the track, and he's just running against better horses. I think he's better. And I'll tell you something. What's so good about Exalted Charm?
No, but he's going to be a better
believe
price.
he'll
And he's going to be in front of him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the board is kind of skewed right now. Yeah. I want to bet on the number 2.
They'll
Rye
be
Runner.
3-5 and 2-1, 3-5 and 5-2. That's what they'll be.
Not sure about that, but I want to bet Rye Runner. Just this is an impossible spot for Rye Runner. There was a good spot for him in original cancellation, and then they tried this one again and try this one again. I just don't know if he could possibly beat both those horses, though I'll probably have small exactas with him second and tries with him third behind the top 2. Race number 2. I wasn't overly excited by race number 2. You're just going to, we're going to count the number of Trevor McCarthy picks you have today. We're going to start. We got 1. Is he in the first?
This has nothing to do with Trevor McCarthy.
It was 1. Okay, he's not.
This has nothing to do
We'll
with
show
Trevor
the race
McCarthy.
last time. Oh, you're going to the Hot Wayne Potts barn?
This is just, I mean, this is an example of a race where we have to make a pick. And I'm just hoping that 2 of the speeds show their speed and it sets up for a horse like her. Listen, she doesn't
Who are
win.
the 2 speeds? The 4 is loose. Who's going to run with the 4?
Violent Point, you think Violent Point is loose?
Oh, Violent Point could be,
I
3 in
thought
front if he's ridden
well,
properly.
the Dazzling Speed could go. I thought Cover Photo could go.
Okay. I know you live in this sort of alternate
I'm not saying
universe where
that.
there
I'm
are
not
quick
saying that
paces around
Violent
here.
Point is not supposed to be 3 in front here, but I mean,
Supposed to be a length and a half, 2 in front, but we'll see.
off avoided claim with the pilot, with that pilot.
I'm
we'll
not
see.
excited, but this horse did chase outside against a good rail in a race where the pace fell apart even last time out, and has dropped significantly. Believe me, I don't trust this horse, but I picked her on top. See, the thing is, I don't want that horse. I don't want Gentle Annie.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of that race that she comes out of.
I wouldn't say I'm a
That was
fan of
race
any of theirs, but
I agree, but I think there are opportunities to look at others. See, I was against the horses out of that race.
okay.
That was a race where there was a heavy favorite that completely and totally failed to show up. Who was the horse? Like a 7 horse. Horse never got into the act. You picked the horse second. I picked the horse on top. You tried to beat the horse. I don't think you picked the winner, but you were smart to be against the horse. Forget who the horse was. I just thought the horse was dropping. Whatever. I actually think My Girl Annie's a little bit interesting on the drop.
The other Annie.
Yeah, I was looking at her as a possible use. I kind of want to get away from the horses out of that race.
Okay. Yeah, she's dropping in from the state bred races to the open. Look, on paper, this is an open 10. This is the bottom of the. This is as bottom as bottom as.
I might have misnumbered this. I think I should have gone 4-1-2-7. I don't think I meant to have the 3 third. Now that I'm looking at this,
Okay.
I think I did misnumber that. Okay. Listen, they're not impossible, and you're right. It's a terrible race. I mean, someone's
Hard
going
to
to
be
win.
enthused
You had
about
the
anything.
only good opinion on the entire show yesterday. The only good opinion was given on the show by you.
And it
When
was
you
a
said-
non-opinion.
But it was a good opinion. You said if the race blows up in this card, it's going to be the 6th race.
No que-
Yeah,
to
you
me,
were
I
right.
was- yeah.
That was a funny thing about that winner.
I got a few phone calls about that, and I tried to explain it as you did on Twitter.
People, at some point, there has to be like a day where everybody goes, okay, you've been saying it for 8 months. It's been going on for 8 months. I'm actually now going to listen. You cannot use the win pool and put it against exacta payoffs, double payoffs, pick 3
Telling
payoffs.
people that for 5
There's
years.
no CAW money in the win pool since Saratoga, beginning of Saratoga, early Saratoga. You'll notice, if you're paying attention, you're not complaining about late odds drops anymore. So you've noticed that's gone away, or you should have. So, like, everybody mentioned the exact in that race. It paid $154.
Right.
And a $100 horse over an 8 to 5 shot, it probably should have paid $250 to $300. I get that.
But he's not really 50
I'm
to
not
1.
even sure it was 25 to 1. Nobody seemed to notice the double. The horse paid $103. You know what the double paid with the $5 horse in the next race? $116.
Oh.
The parlay was $250. If you use the double price, that horse wasn't even a $50 horse. That was about a $45 horse, $46 horse.
Right.
So you have to judge the exacta payoffs and the doubles and the tries and those things different than the win pool.
I've been
And
trying to
listen,
explain that to people for a
there are
for a while
anomalies
now.
now in the win pool. And there are situations where you're better off betting in the win pool and
you're
situations
better
where you're
off
better
leaving
betting in
into the
other
exotics,
pools.
right.
And, we're offering all these. We can't help, you have to figure out where to go. But at some point, people have to understand that it's not like it used to be. We used to be able to say, this horse is 5-1 with 2 minutes to go, but is 8-5 in the double, so this horse is going to get hammered late. Not the case anymore. It's not at all. They're just not related. Race number 3. Is this the second or third? Anybody the third time we've tried to run this race. It really is amazing. Interestingly enough, the main contenders, bless you, come out of consecutive races. We'll look at the second one. That's Tweaked, who I put on top. This one got the better fig, the faster race. It had a slightly slower pace, but I thought Tweaked was the horse to beat in here.
Yeah, I mean, I've picked Ruski the other 2 times and kind of stuck with it. But yeah, I mean, off this fig and off this effort, sure, was able to just, sit on top of a pretty moderate pace. And
Okay, this is one Trevor
Finish the
for me,
job.
and you've got one. So we're 1-1. Okay,
1-1.
we're tied at 1.
I went back to Ruski. I tried Ruski a couple of times.
We'll
But
get to
this
Ruski.
horse can absolutely. This horse.
I thought this horse beat an okay field last time and actually ran pretty well. And I thought that Trevor would try to go to the lead with Ruski and just thought this horse might be the horse to beat. We can go right to the replay of Ruski and Lady Milagro, which was the race run prior to Tweaks. I just thought this was a better race. I do think Ruski ran the better race here. Lady Milagro was allowed to control, and I don't think that's happening with Tweak today.
I don't either. At the very least, Tweaked is going to be on top of her. Maybe a Lady Well,
It just figures to be a little bit of a tougher
Yeah, it
pace
should be a
here.
little bit of a tougher pace. I couldn't agree with you more. And you kind of feel like, at least I kind of feel like, if Lady Milagro didn't close the door here, and then Ruski ran well enough to chase her down, it's going to be a little tougher with Tweaked in here for her.
Yeah, it just figures to be a better scenario for Ruski. But Ruski has a little bit of a last time was the time appeal. I know some people are a little bit interested in Rosemary Potatoes. I mean, that was a terrible race at Monmouth, but it was a long, long time ago. So who knows, right? I guess that horse could improve.
Yeah, I don't know
but that horse got to improve out of that race. That was a very slow race.
Yes.
But doesn't mean the horse can't improve. That race was almost 8 months ago. Almost 8 months ago. Belmont Stakes weekend. Belmont Stakes race.
It's your birthday this year.
Festival weekend. I know it is. I know it's my birthday this year. And I'm not happy about it. Race number 4.
We have a whole festival for you this year.
Yeah, it's Andy's birthday racing festival. We're renaming it. Please don't.
AB.
Somebody hit the pick 6 yesterday.
I was walking out and saw that.
The last winner was one of the greatest they news of all time. You said it on the show. You said this could be one of those Rudy horses, and you were right. And they knew that horse was going to win.
Well, he did it. Well, the kid saved all the ground, tipped out around Steam Engine.
Yeah, there's 2 rail horses
And
ran
they
one
beat
too.
the field. How
By
far they beat the field by?
1,000.
Yeah.
You know what? Did you notice our boy got in trouble in that race? I meant to tease Trevor about that.
Yeah, he did.
Somebody had the nerve to get in his way.
Get his way on the
stretch.
rail.
Can you
Amazing.
imagine the nerve of that guy?
The audacity.
And really disgraceful. I hope he's been fined. I don't know who that was, but the nerve of them being in Trevor's way. By the way, there's an outside chance that Celia Mike would have been third, a very distant third, but it wasn't going to affect the result. So race number 4, the general feeling is, I'm going to show you one of the horses that, will take money in here, okay? Beautiful Banks, the 6, might be the favorite of horses that have run. Literally.
Oh, she has to be the shortest price of the horses that have run.
And
Doesn't she?
I got to tell you something. Now, I'm not saying today's race is a good race, but there are at least firsters in this race. This was a terrible race.
Yeah, this is something. This was something.
Does it look like Belmont a little bit?
Absolutely.
The video? Does it look like Belmont?
Yep. Absolutely.
I know what it. You know what it is? It's the way the sun is shining on the puddles.
On wet track. Yep,
Yeah, it's got
exactly
a very
right.
Belmont-y look to
Very
it.
Belmont look.
Yeah,
no
it's funny.
question about it. I mean, wow.
I'm going to give you my horse, though. You've got the horse in the mix. We have the same horse.
Yeah, the seven's the seven's the
Giggling
fuzzy,
Ghost,
right?
and buddy track, a one-time and a maiden claimer drops again. I just thought Giggling Ghost might be the interesting one of the ones around.
Taco Bean? Right, he put one of these over already, Pat Kelly. Taco Bean horse paid $100.
This is Pat Quick.
Never mind that. That's not the mare from that. Remember he had that first a couple of years ago in the maiden claim?
Don't try to. You know what? By the way, we're at 99, so the
That's
next bet
staying.
is.
I'm not getting stuck in a blizzard at 100. Just so you know, there'll be no wagers today. Not happening.
He's giving
No
up.
shot.
Took him this long to give up.
I didn't give up, but it's just not happening today.
Took 3 years of Frank Miramotti telling him to stop being my patsy. First-time starters here. You've taken Oh My Bell. Go ahead.
I took Danny Gargan first there with Kendrick Carmouche. I mean, how much confidence can you have that debuting for a quarter? Could you, you run these scenarios. Could you imagine? We're still on race 4, guys.
We're on race 4.
Can you imagine
Francisco getting a little ahead of yourself there, Francisco?
one of these firsters?
Big hurry. He was trying to get out of here.
Could you imagine one of these? Like,
We have
could
to
you
move
imagine one
on.
of these firsters not winning this race?
Yes. They could
You
all
can.
stink.
Wow.
You know what's interesting about Oh My Bell? Did you look at the pedigree?
I did
You
not
can
do a
just say
deep
no.
dive into the pedigree. No,
When you say you didn't do a deep dive, what was your
I didn't notice any. There was nothing for me to really note about.
Okay, so you didn't look at the pedigree, which is fine.
I looked at it,
You didn't.
but I didn't really.
The dam was actually pretty good. The dam actually debuted in Saratoga for Jack Oxley and John Ward, and got 2001 got a 93
Wow.
buyer first time out, and turned out to just go nowhere. And she hasn't really
0-1.
hasn't really produced anything special, but the horses she's produced will be competitive here. The second dam of the 3 horse was a Todd Pletcher, Bobby Flay horse, actually. That first time starter, for what it's worth. I picked the other firster, the Dave Donk horse. Sort of a possible pedigree as well. The second dam of Boca Kitten, the 9, was a pretty good sprinter, actually. Ran 105 buyer, and I think in Maryland in 1992.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you actually look up pedigrees. Anthony considers that a deep
30
dive.
years.
I consider that doing the work.
30 years.
A Texas Red. Don't see a lot of Texas Reds.
We had one win here last week, I thought. Maybe 2
Texas
weeks ago.
Red, winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah.
Quick pace. Upstart should have won that Juvenile. All right, now we can move to 5, Francisco. I know you're in a big hurry. He's very excited about race 5. So race 5, here's my question. Is the horse we're looking at here, Tap and Glow, and we'll show this is the second place finish at Saratoga. We're going to cover lots of tracks on today's show. We'll go up to Saratoga. Is this horse really going to be favored here?
I was saying
I bet the winner of this race, Anthony, was 8-1. It's very exciting. That's why I got excited to show this replay. Little red board 6 months later.
sick guy.
This is the earlier part of the meet when I was having good picks.
Do we think a horse taken from Brad Cox, now Brad doesn't have horses here this winter, going to a barn that's a little quiet right now, is going to be favored? I don't think this horse.
And the other thing I'll say about this horse is this horse has that one figure on a wet track that sticks out. The other two, not exactly compelling. They're faster than the other horses have run in here, but I'm skeptical of this horse. This horse wins.
I am
I'm
too.
going to lose. I think there are more reasons to like. Wow, you left the 4 completely out.
I
you had that
didn't
trap.
know what to do with some of the. I did not know what to do with.
Okay, so why do you like Exaltris?
Well, Exaltris was a tip first time. She got stuck along.
So was Good Tip.
Hold on.
Has Good Tip finished yet?
She got stuck on the inside. Good Tip was in the 6th bet.
I'm sorry, she got stuck on the inside.
She was on the inside.
It was a gold
she
rail.
went to the lead. She was inside.
It was a gold rail.
I understand that, but
She got stuck. The poor thing got stuck on a gold rail.
She was also under
I'm
the
gonna
gun.
cry.
First start in the slop.
Okay.
I'm going to draw a line through that race, and I'm just going to hope the blinkers are going to come off.
You know, she was one of the only speeds didn't win that day.
Yeah, I'm very well aware
Just
of the
about
whole
the
thing,
one
but
of the
she was
only
also-
speeds didn't win the race
Also
that
a
day.
first-time starter who had to deal with a sloppy track.
So what? But she was in front. The difference, Anthony, you're missing is sloppy tracks when you're in front, not a big deal. If you're in back and you're a first-time starter, you're taking kickback and you're getting no.
Well, if you
It's
don't handle
important
the
to-
track.
Anthony, horses handle the track almost universally. You are under the delusion, and I've tried for years, you're just too stubborn. They handle the track. Very few horses.
I disagree.
You're wrong.
Well, I
though.
disagree.
You're wrong,
Listen,
and you're
we
proven
don't-
wrong.
There's no reason to belabor the point. I'm not going to. I'm
Right,
not
because
going to change.
you are impervious to,
I'm not impervious
learning
to it.
anything.
That's something that
you are.
That's something that I'm not going to.
Right, because even though day after day, we come up with factual observations, that is the wrong way to look at races, and yet you never change.
I'm not
and
going
it hurts
to.
you all the
I've
time.
changed plenty up here.
No, you
That's
haven't.
something I'm not going to change.
No, you haven't.
Anyway, I went back to her.
Okay.
And I know you're right. She was on the better part of the track. I'm going to give her a second chance.
She may run better. They liked her first
I
time.
would
I
imagine
tell you
she's
something.
going to run better today.
I don't know, man. I had a bad feeling about this one. I hope she runs well for Chad. You know that I do, but I don't know. I'm scared.
I don't know. I think that she can.
What
I
about
think if she
Cupid's
runs
girl,
that- well,
who you have fourth?
she's another one, right? She was against the racetrack. She's outside, but she didn't really get involved at all. That's the problem with her. She took a ton of money,
Well, wait a second.
took all the money on the racetrack.
She didn't have any speed, and Manny rode her hard to get into the race because of how the track was playing. And he kept her on the rail, and she was on the rail until right before the stretch, and she was running fine, and then he tipped her out, and when he tipped her out to the three path, she stopped running. So it's actually kind of interesting. She was in the good part of the track. Now, the horse that stayed inside ended up getting completely blocked in there and had to angle around, it was too late, and finished third in there, but lost an opportunity. That was also a weird time. The track was changing that day.
Oh, that was the shipper I liked. That was the Glitter Up should have won that. Was that the Lascano horse?
No, Glitter Up was the speed horse that had lost
third-
the turf.
the third
at
horse
Dynamo.
was the horse I
Third
liked.
horse you thought was a little interesting in there, right? But once she got off the rail, she stopped running. I'm just not sure how good she is, but I do think she'll run okay in here. So you don't have Rough Tough Love anywhere. I mean, this horse, I think this was the one that was being bet in the entry. They might have been betting the other horse. It's not clear. This horse was involved in a pretty contested pace with the eventual winner. It was a runaway winner for Jonathan Thomas. And I got to think that Rough Tough Love is gone on the front today because I'll bet you Exaltris isn't as aggressive today.
Well, with the blinkers off, outside draw, yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I didn't know what to do with Rough Tough Love. I didn't know what part of that entry they were betting. I know she was right on top of the
Well,
pace
I
that
assume the
day,
way she
but-
ran, they were betting her
Okay.
too.
That makes sense.
A little bit at least.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Right, not that she was the sole reason the entry took all that money. Because the entry took some money that day, 4.5 to 1. Actually, a tick under 4.5 to 1. So.
And I mean, Sweet Solaire, I don't know. This seems like a tough race for a firster, but maybe not. I just think there are too many horses with a chance to move up. And I'm not totally against the 5, but I don't know. I don't like her a lot the way she ran last time. She gave up awfully quickly. We'll see.
Okay.
Take a break. Late pick 4 coming up after this.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit NairaBets.com.
We're back. Arguing Horses continues. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling, race 6. This is a returnee. A little bit different, though. A little
It's all like
different.
there
to
weren't as
return.
many in here, right? I think Joyce Gas Pizzazz is new in here.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let's show Fleet Warrior.
Okay.
This is 2
Let's do
back.
that.
Horse coming off a 5-month layoff. Are you worried about this horse wider in the field?
I think if you worry about one of them doing that, yes. Ninth Hour has some speed,
She's fast.
but
He's faster,
this horse
though,
is
right?
fast.
This horse is
Yeah,
pretty quick.
This horse is fast.
I mean, I know Dylan's not always that aggressive, but this horse wants to lead. Now, I picked this horse 4th, and I don't trust him off the layoff, but I think you have to acknowledge that in this field, this horse is a threat on the front end.
Perhaps.
So what do you like about Bourbon Mission? I have him 3rd. I scratched him for 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, just dropping all the way to the bottom.
His last race was a problem. though.
His last race is a problem.
I mean, he was in front on a speed track,
His
and he
last
stopped.
race. His last race is a problem. I'm not saying his last. I'm hoping that he's forward. I'm hoping that horses like Fleet Warrior, maybe Ninth Hour, if Ninth Hour is the one chasing Fleet Warrior, kind of come back to him a little bit. I'm hoping he's in good position. I'm hoping the drop, right? I mean, the drop from the 25 to the 12.5 last time was considerable.
But then he was awful.
And he was awful. Listen,
I'm not totally against him
It's an
either. I'm
obvious
not.
spread race,
I can't take a horse that collapsed on a speed track the way he did. That's my
he
problem.
he had little to no excuse.
He
last
was
time.
bad last time, and
He was bad
I
last
thought he
time.
was interesting last time. So I'm not. I'm going to go in a different direction. I do think you very much have to use Mitre Porciento dropping, because the thing about him last time was, I mean, I know Linda's coming back in 6 days. He was out in the 3 path the whole way on a humongous gold rail last time. So he was badly compromised. And, I'll say it again. I like what we've seen from Elsa Morrison. I think she rides well. 10-pound bug rider, she seems.
This horse is really fallen.
This horse was way against the track last time. Be careful. This horse was way against the track.
I got the horse third.
I mean, you're talking about a drop down on a horse that ran. I know, no, but you're talking about a drop down on a horse that ran badly with the track. This horse at least ran badly against the racetrack. So Joycey has pizzazz. I'm going to go back to that crazy win. Tapazierans should have won this race. I bet Tapazierans. He ran super. I don't know where the heck this race came from, but there are races in the back where it came from, right? You know, in the old days.
Of course.
And I thought this was a little bit of an interesting claim by Mike Maselli, taking this horse. You know, this horse ran second for 12.5. He took it for 16. He's given the horse a little time off. And don't forget, 2 starts back, the horse ran 16 days after running this big race. You know, then they gave a little time, but I want to. It was a fair track last time. This horse had no excuse last time other than that. I know drops down at the bottom. I get all those things. I want to give this horse a chance for Mike Maselli because this horse has a recent race. It will beat these horses.
Yeah, this horse got to be used too.
Yeah.
I thought about putting this horse on top.
Yeah, no, I think this horse is kind of interesting. I was mostly 5s and 11s here, especially with the 10 out. But the 9 and 8 are both dangerous horses. Probably the 8 a little more, but we'll see. Anything else?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. Race 7. Race 7 was tough. You think race 7 was tough? Oh, you picked the same horse as me. Not that tough. Oh, you were scratched in here.
I was scratched in here.
Yeah, I didn't think you picked this horse.
I was scratched in here.
It was a good scratch for you. I'd have switched my picks if I knew you picked him. I'd have picked the 7 on top.
I didn't want to pick this horse, believe me.
Okay. You want the 1 on top?
I did not want to pick this horse.
You want the 1 on top?
I don't want to. I wanted to pick Air Attack today.
So, well, we'll get to him. I got
Not going
replays
to
to
get
go.
to scratched.
No, we'll get to the 4. So let's look at Crypto Cash, for instance. I think the key for me in this race is I want horses that were against the track in their last start. And Crypto Cash and American Lincoln, more so Crypto Cash and American Lincoln, who actually showed he showed his random form, American Lincoln, a horse who occasionally shows up and runs. He actually ran last time. Crypto Cash was against the track, and the winner had everything go his own way, and Crypto Cash was against it. I thought he actually ran pretty well.
He's another one. I mean, what price does he figure to be now? He's bumping back up in class.
Well, he ran for 32.2 back, though.
Yeah, he's going back up in this. I just said he's going back up in the class. Good numbers for Rob.
Yeah.
And Brittany.
First of Acclaim, moving horses up, they win. You know, Supreme Aura on the rail was actually ran well last time against a pace, but I just don't trust that horse. That was a terrible field, but there was no pace in there. I did consider him. So on to Dark Storm. We'll show his last race. Aren't you supposed to bet horses that tried to close against Blewett?
That was it. That was the reason I put him second. I mean, I wanted to take the shot with Air Attack. This horse seems logical. And after yesterday, where you saw some horses, more horses than in the past couple of weeks make up some ground, I think you can have some confidence that you can make up some ground on this track.
I don't know. Did anybody really make up ground yesterday?
They made up more ground.
Not really.
Seemed to me like they made up more. Well, maybe that was
maybe you need to look at the race again. They didn't make up much ground yesterday. That's the thing about yesterday. Yesterday was a day where for the most part, horses didn't make up ground. That was the weird thing. Even when they won outside, like the long shot in the 6th race, that horse was on top of the pace. I'm wondering if being forward was more important than being where you were, because horses were on the rail trying to make up ground, and they weren't making up ground on the rail.
And we talk about the rise in class for the 32. The 32, the quarter of this horse, the 25 claim he ran in his last 2 starts, in 2 of his last 3 starts, and the 32 that he ran in 2 back, how much tougher are they than this race? See,
Well,
I think they're
Wonder Boy
considerably tougher.
No, his last race was a terrible
You
field.
don't think the Mexican Wonder Boy Hammer and Hammer?
Oh, that race was 1,000 times tougher.
Those last 2 races.
No,
are
not last time. Last time was against the track. Blewett's awful. Blewett's not a good horse. He's just been lucky twice.
Okay,
in a row.
so against the track, the field's 2 and 3.
Blewett's a 10-claimer.
The field's 2 and 3 back are better than this field.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, certainly
Right,
2
and he's
back.
against the track last time. He's
back.
probably better with a little less distance
sure a
and
3 back.
getting the mile. You don't think the Hammer and Hammer and Daddy Knows Dark Storm's better than these horses?
No, he's Dark Storm.
I was getting confused with the horse yesterday. You don't think the Hammer and Daddy Knows are better than
Hammer
these?
and Hammer is Daddy Knows. I don't know. He's in cheaper on Sunday's card, so I'm not sure about that.
This race is coming.
Anthony, I'm missing the opening.
This
Okay,
race
Anthony,
came
stop
up-
distracting
This
me.
race came up I thought for
Very
a 32,
emotional moment taking place
I thought
here.
this was a little bit of a. I mean, that was part of the reason. So just won for the 32. Was able to control a.
Last time was the
moderate
time for
pace.
him.
Last time was the time, right? And he's another.
He's the
one.
speed, though. You worry about him wiring the field?
I mean, you almost have to a little bit in here. How could you really trust any of these horses?
Vintage Hollywood's not impossible here. He's got races that fit. Now, as far as American rule, I think if you leave a William Morey horse
in
out,
a race like this, got to be.
in a race like this,
race,
in
but
any
I'm
race,
saying,
if he
especially
runs
in a
a
race
race in
like
the
this.
Kentucky Derby, I wouldn't leave him
Yeah,
out. the way his
especially
horses
in a
are
race
running.
like this,
His horses
though.
are running through walls.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he claimed this horse for 32 off a 10th place finish at Laurel at 20-1. The horse gets beaten a city block, and he's not dropping the horse.
Not dropping. Yeah. In many ways, you're supposed to pick. In many ways, you're probably supposed to pick him.
You're going to use them. Whether you
They're
pick them or
certainly
not,
gonna
you're
use
using them. You're not letting this guy beat you. I'm not letting this guy beat me. No way. Horses are running as well as any trainer I've seen. Oh, look. One of them
He's in
dressed
black
for,
again.
one of them dressed for Florida. Well, it isn't really Florida this weekend, right? It's
Right,
the
like
Arctic.
Supposed to be like, yeah, 60.
See, the low at Sunday's 39. I feel bad for people that went down for the Pegasus. That's going to be cold. And when it gets into 40s, 50s in Florida, it feels like it's about 10
you
degrees
feel bad for
out.
those people when you look out your window and see 8 inches of snow on the ground?
I'm a rough and tumble upstater, okay, Anthony? I grew up in Saratoga. I know what it is to deal with it. Okay, I'm not like you, guy who's probably never shoveled a walk in his life.
I shoveled plenty.
Anybody buying that out there?
I've shoveled plenty. My shoveling days are over.
You've definitely shoveled
I
a lot of money
actually-
through the windows.
I actually, amongst other things.
Race number 8.
Yes, the shoveling days are
Race
over.
number 8. So, True Gold. Wow.
Scotchatori.
Scotch Story's source to beat. But what do you
Hold on,
like?
we might be able to get this. We may be able to have a chance for some lunch here. This is a possibility.
What do you like about True Gold?
I like True Gold has the rail. I like True Gold's going to get to save some ground.
Manny very alert to the track yesterday. Manny rode well yesterday.
I thought True Gold. He's not that.
He could be the inside speed. He's got to deal with Gong Hee Fat Choi.
He's gonna be forward. I don't think he's gonna be.
Gong Hee Fat Choi is quick.
Hold on a second. You don't think you're gonna be in front here?
Who knows? Who knows what Dylan's going to do?
I would.
Dylan's aggressive.
You could knock me over with a sneeze.
He should be
if
aggressive.
that horse isn't in front,
He should be aggressive.
especially with Bustin' Shout out of here. Especially with Bustin' Shout.
What about Gong Hee Fat Choi?
I mean, is he really that fast?
He's pretty quick.
I thought True Gold was going to get an amazing setup in here.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think he's very good.
I don't know how good
Where
he
are
is.
his good
in them.
races?
I just thought he would sit. Well,
Okay, but my problem with him is he doesn't have good races.
okay,
That's
but
my problem.
Are they that much? Are they not? Are they that much worse than any of the?
If Scacciatore runs the race that he ran right here, we'll show you that race, he'll beat this field doing cartwheels down the stretch. And by the way, Cartwheel is the horse who was favored in that race.
You
Do you like
are
that?
the. Wow.
Cartwheel was the favorite.
You are the, and this is. I'm bowing down. The king of off the turf races.
I thought he couldn't lose this race.
You loved him.
Well,
But
do you remember why?
Hold on.
Because I say he should have been on the dirt all along.
Yes, but hold on a second.
And he was good on the turf.
His other 2 dirt races do not corroborate this fig.
Not incorrect. Not correct. His last race, he was wide against a good rail. Against what do you think? Against a good rail. He had no shot last time out. No shot. 3-4 wide last time. His race against Southern Bridge, extremely good. Not the same 99 Beyer he got there, but it was much better than the 74 Beyer he got because he was on a pace that was fast that totally collapsed. That Mott horse that won Southern Bridge came from Schuylerville at the top of the stretch to win. I mean, this horse's dirt races are dirtied up, and he got good. Now, here's the concern with him.
You're talking yourself out of this lunch bet, just so you know.
I'm okay. Here's the concern. The concern is when he ran that dirt race Saratoga, he was in raging form. Now we haven't seen him for 3 months. You know what I mean? So I felt going in that dirt race.
You take the mile turf race out of it.
He's not a miler. He was in really good form.
Yes, he was.
So I thought now he's going to the right surface and he's in good form. Now we're getting worse off a 3-month layoff in the winter, and I can't be totally confident he's in that kind of form.
Right.
I'll tell you something. I would have bet any amount of money that you would have gone back to your boy South Africa here. South Africa, if he finds out, if Michelle Nevin tells South Africa that you've given up on him, he's going to go out there and show you who's boss.
I mean, he's run against so much better in his last two, but I mean,
Watch
he
his last
really
race.
hasn't done any
Watch
running.
his last race.
All right.
He's a little bit interesting off his last race. He was shut off, I think it was about 3/16ths of a mile in. I think it was, or maybe it was the 3/16ths pole. He was shut off at one point. He actually didn't run that badly. I've never, as you know, you've liked this
You've
horse.
never been
I've
a
never
fan.
loved this horse. I think he's going to run better.
You
here.
have him higher than I do. Wow. That's crazy.
Here's the problem with Bronx Bomber.
He doesn't win.
Can't,
Can't win if he doesn't get to the lead.
and he doesn't have speed
He
anymore.
has no speed anymore. Remember that race when Just Right got me? Oh, that was so sick.
Yeah, that was awful. I was watching it on the subway platform. Yeah, it was awful. He is good enough to win here, though.
He is.
I mean, there's an argument that he's the most logical, better horse than the
Right, if
horses in this
Gung Hei
race.
Fat Shui goes, Scotchatori needs the race, True Gold's no horse. Somebody's got to
Whoever
come.
gets the right ride.
Somebody's got to come get these horses.
No, he can win this race. I mean, the problem is he has really shown a propensity to hang, but he has also hung against a lot better horses than he's running against today.
Yes.
You could go through and make a real case that he is taking a dive off some of
Yes,
the races he's been
I don't
running in.
disagree.
You know, so. Last time he had absolutely no chance on that racetrack where nobody was gaining an inch. The Sarah LaPau race, he got in some trouble, but those are better. Well, Big Bobby, I don't know if he's better than anybody. So, the 9th, they bring back as well. We'll show a video of Anthony's top choice, Silver Samurai. Do you miss the Saturday Night Live Samurais? Samurai Optometrists?
Yeah.
Oh, those were good. You don't like those?
They were all right.
They were better than all right.
I'm just hoping this horse gets to the front and just kind of gets in front of a bunch of horses that don't want to pass.
Does feel like the inside's well. What about Mango Beach? Mango Beach pretty quick.
I guess, but I have.
He
I have more-
ran one
I have-
last time.
Yeah.
Rodriguez Castro, that big long shot yesterday.
That was the. You know what was funny? Not only did we talk about the race being a race that would blow up.
You did. Don't
but
give me
that-
any credit.
but
You
that-
get the credit.
But that name was the only jockey name that came up. You asked me who Rudy's son had. I said Louis
Oh, yeah?
Rodriguez Castro.
Wow, you missed it. And I told you the first trainer I saw was John Toscano, and he won the second race.
You didn't tell me.
How'd
that.
you?
You never brought it up. Wow.
Oh, you know why? I think I saw him after the show. I brought it up in the prattle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You brought it up. That's great.
I did.
Bringing it up in the.
You're a disease.
Got to you too.
No, I'm not way against the two here. I thought My Last Mission was dangerous in here. My Last Mission's not slow. He was involved in running with Unique Unions last time out. It was pretty darn quick and pretty good. And Jackie's not a jockey who's taking horses back. I mean, that horse could be forward. in here.
Talked to Jackie for about 10 minutes yesterday in his office.
So
Had a cup of coffee.
Jackie's great. I took a shot with Kuzman. I don't have a lot of love for Kuzman. The rail was probably good last time, and the horse was wide. I don't know if this horse can run. He's dropping down. He's not winning on an inside track, I'll tell you that.
No, obviously.
But I'm going to take a little bit of a flower.
2
with him.
Trevors to 1 today.
Is Trevor on him?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
See what
I
happens?
deserve that.
You got to use this horse though, right? I mean, kitchen sink, dropping down.
Not going to be betting on him if we have the
No, of
inside
course
track.
not, but,
But
I mean-
he's usable. He's the interesting horse in there. I'm going to throw the 3 in.
I was coin flip between 3 and 10. I didn't want you to make a Phil Serpy comment, so I put the 10 in.
Oh, yeah, this is the first time Anthony's had a Phil Serpy horse in the top 4 since, I think, D-Day. For a long time, right?
How about this? I can tell you the last Phil Serpy horse I bet on. Weekend Hideaway.
I love Weekend Hideaway. He was
with
such
our
a
man
good
Andy
horse.
Berg. I was with Andy from Gumster Stable. I said to myself, this is not a barn I ordinarily bet on. He was walking out. I said, if that horse loses today, I'm walking out
He
of
was a
here broke.
good horse, Weekend Hideaway.
Paid, I think, 610.
Yeah, he was a
He
good.
galloped too.
He was a very, very nice
Yeah, he
horse.
was.
He had a terrific career.
Millionaire.
Very consistent horse.
Millionaire.
Very consistent horse.
Nice horse.
Like the wet track too, right?
Red and Black Stable, I think
Yep.
that was, right?
Yeah, those red and black silks. I can still picture the silks.
Yeah, nice horse.
All right, it was a pleasure. Not sure we'll be doing this again tomorrow with the weather expected tomorrow.
Hopefully we'll
Some of
see
you might have
sun.
heard we may be getting some bad weather
There may be a
tomorrow.
nor'easter coming.
Yeah, may not be good. You're going to be out shoveling.
I'll be hustling, yeah. 40,
Yeah, you'll be out.
40,
You'll be out. If you need your
40
walk,
a drive,
if you
40
need
a
your walk
driveway, 20 a
shuffled,
walkway.
need your walk shoveled. It's Keep Anthony Employed 200. Head over to Naira Bet. Speaking of Keep Anthony Employed, and use the promo code bonus 200, and we will sign you up for Naira Bets and match $200 your initial deposit, as well as make you a member of the team. You'll get a cameo from Anthony. It's all good. You get the badge, everything. It's like, you've seen American Graffiti, haven't you?
Of course.
What does he
That's
say?
the
What
second week in a row you asked me
What
that.
does Bo, what's his name?
I
Bo,
told you, we talked about this, that I would not be able to quote it.
who's the actor who is the head of the Pharaohs? Bo Hopkins. Bo Hopkins, guy's a legend. And he started telling Richard Dreyfuss, you know, you had the blood test, you had the initiation with the blood. I pretty much know the entire script of American Graffiti
I
by
can
heart.
tell.
Anyway, $75 or more, each, an Aqueduct and Oaklawn, and you'll get $20. Win, lose, draw. And finally, last but definitely not least, America's Day at the Races. Join Greg Wolf, Maggie Wolfendale, Gary Stevens at Oaklawn, ensconced at Oaklawn, and myself.
Can you draw at all?
Can I draw? A little bit.
You said win, lose, or draw. You ever play like Pictionary or any of those games?
No, I haven't done the new Wordle yet. Have you tried Wordle?
Yes.
It's fun, right?
I got bored with it pretty easy.
They do one a day.
I know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know what's going on with me lately. I can't. I have very little patience.
I don't know.
My patience are all spent in one place. I have little patience for everything else.
Well, I'm going to go look at Wordle. Anyway, we got 9
Can't even
today.
catch my pen anymore. I just
We have 9 today. Everybody have a great day. Johnny I up next, the reprise, Scratches and Changes.